What's up, team? I'm Mike Peterson. Welcome to my podcast. What's up, team? A good friend of mine shared with me that he had completed a 100-mile run. It took him over 24 hours to complete it. He said he was exhausted. And at times he had to walk, he got emotional, and even thought about quitting. But with every mile he completed, it became harder and harder to quit. You see, he was way too invested. He talked about his friends that throughout that 24 hours would meet him on different points of the route and bring him food, water, change his shoes, even his socks. When he was too sore to change them himself, they would help him change his socks. They cheered him on, they prayed with him, and sometimes allowed him to lean on them while he kept running and moving forward. Not everything we do in life is easy or simple. And in some cases, the bigger the goal, the steeper the mountain. And like him, at times, we will all have moments of doubt. We will all have moments of extreme adversity and challenges. But he said what got him through this was he just continued to say, one more mile. One more mile. That was the mindset. Now, what an awesome lesson that is for us. You're going to have those moments where you're exhausted. Man, you're going to be overloaded. It's going to be rough. And at times, your body will want to tell you to quit. It will tell you you've had enough. But listen, that's when we have to take over. We have to say to ourselves, one more mile, one more step. And if you notice, one of the things that he did is he utilized his friends. You see, out of the thousands of people that were there watching this route and race, there were just a handful that he relied on to get him through this. And they were at various stages. Some would help him, like I said, give him water. Some had words of encouragement. Some would yell and scream at him to keep going. Some would bring him shoes or socks and would actually help him put them on. You see, those were friends that were willing to serve him in order to achieve this amazing task. In life, we rely on those people. Now, what does that mean to go one more mile in life? We're obviously not going to be running a 100-mile marathon, some of us, but what does it mean? It means to exert extra effort or to go beyond what is expected of you, what is required in a particular task or situation. It's about pushing oneself further to achieve a higher standard or to exceed expectations. It's actually a biblical phrase that encourages us in the Bible in Matthew 5, verse 41. Jesus says, if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. That encourages a mindset of generosity, willingness to serve, and exceeding expectations by going beyond what is required or expected. It's been interpreted by some that it's a call not only to meet obligations, but to surpass them willingly and cheerfully. When I received a call from the Miami Dolphins to try out, I had sat out about a year and some change. And when my agent called me and said they wanted to fly me in for a workout in a couple months, I realized that I wasn't in football shape. And so I had to do everything I could, but the reality was I wouldn't know how things were going to go until I got there. I just knew that I had to prepare, both physically and mentally. So fast forward, I get to my tryout, and part of our test was a 2-mile run. Now, listen, I'm not a distance runner, never have been, but I knew that I had to make this 2 miles within the time frame that was given to me. So the race began, the run began, and I was off. And let me be frank with you. I struggled. And as the time was clicking closer and closer, I said to myself out loud, one more step, Mike. One more step towards your goal. One more step towards your dream. I started talking out loud. And I did that for this reason. See, oftentimes when we think of things, the mind can play tricks on you. When you say it out loud, you claim it, you own it. And I did. And let me tell you, I finished that 2-mile run well under the time, and I was exhausted. I was beat. And the coach at the time, who was a linebacker coach, Coach Hill, came up to me and said, Michael, son, you got a lot of heart. And that, look here, when you hear stuff like that, man, it gets you pumped and excited. But what got me excited, guys, is I knew the adversity I was going to face, and many didn't make it, but I did. I did because I didn't focus on how tired I was. Look, when we focus on our being tired or how big the challenge is, it's hard to win. But man, when you have the mindset that you're going for this, you're going to get it, no matter what, you are going after it, you are going to attack it, nothing is going to stop you, you were made for this, you were designed for this. When those things happen, amazing things happen because you choose not to quit. One more mile, one more step. That's what matters. It doesn't matter how you feel. Will you give it one more step? When you're facing adversity, are you talking to yourself? Are you your own motivational, inspirational speaker? Are you telling yourself, hey, I've got this. I'm going to continue on. I'm fighting for this. Nothing is going to stop me. Is that your mindset? If that's your mindset, well, let me just tell you, beautiful things are going to happen. When you're seeing that the odds are against you, do you say to yourself, wait a minute. This is perfect. This is perfect because I'm the person to overcome these odds. This was made for me. Too often times we think about all the reasons why we can't. And I'm telling you to remind yourself of why you can and why you will achieve whatever goal that is that you're trying to achieve. It's all in you. We can never give up that mindset. We're warriors. We were made for this fight. You see, we get caught up in thinking that it's all about talent. Let me tell you, some of the best talent in the world have not achieved their goals because they couldn't handle the pressures or the stress of the adversity. Calvin Coolidge made a statement that nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. That quote underscores the significance of perseverance and determination in achieving success. It emphasizes the qualities are more valuable than natural talent, intelligence, or education alone. Talk to yourself and tell yourself, one more mile, one more step, one more time, and one more swing to keep knocking down giants.